I keep struggling. And now what? Well, maybe probably a crowd is gathering around me. There's people at the other end of the platform wishing the emergency alarm would end. I'm here. An emergency nurse comes out of the crowd, tells me to sit down, lie down. What do? I just do what she tells me, and I keep struggling for life. And then maybe I pass out. Worst case scenario, I end up in the hospital, maimed but alive, or I die here. I could die here. I don't want to die here, but it could happen. Does that help? Oddly, I feel a little bit calmer, but I probably should have chosen an exercise where I'm not confronting my death. Where do I need to go? Where do I? Oh, that's freaky. 1 meter over, and I would have been in the tracks. The infinite shades of darkness. This tunnel is just going to go straight under the city and take me out the other side. Am I crying? Why am I crying? I feel like I could just dive off the platform and into the subway tracks, and then I would splash into the metal and concrete like water, splash everyone around me and swim into waters that I could breathe in, maybe better than I can breathe here. And I would swim through the concrete and the wires and the pipes and through the soil and through the rock and out the earth's crust and into the hot mantle. And then I'd swim into the liquid outer core and then the hard inner core. It would take years, and I'd have adventures. And then I would curl up in the center of the earth and just stay there in millennia of heat. Oh, I'm being so weird right now. I feel kind of nauseous and dizzy. What's wrong with me? I'm not sure, but I'm okay. I feel as though I'm a bit drugged up right now. Oh, this feels like I'm at an altar. I need to pray. I have no religion. I believe in no God. I have nothing to pray to. I'm on my knees. I'm in the dirt. I'm so afraid. Give me nothing. Here's a cold metal bench. Here's a white, ugly wall. Here's a dark, dripping trail. Give me something else. I looked down at my hands and I put them together as I was taught to. I remember being 3 years old and trying to lie on the green carpeted floor at church as everybody knelt to pray, and my mom grabbed my arm and said, "Get up, Jocelyn." I knelt frightened at my bed with my grandmother, breathing the heavy air of the spare room and watching the light come in through the heavy window shades as we prepared for my afternoon nap. God bless Mary, Vincenzo, Mario, Pietro, Lucia, Maria. I wondered who these people were. I felt so guilty because my prayers never seemed to do anything. I remember kneeling at my cousin's communions, the giant statue of a man being tortured on a cross at the front, and I felt so frustrated. I stared at the same scene again, cramping and hung over at St. Paul's Church at a service in London, England, squeezing past my 19-year-old friends to leave that piece of Britain's history to go outside and throw up, to sit miserably with the pigeons. Spending so much time looking at a man dying on a cross must toughen people up, I told the birds. Maybe I'd be better off if I'd been disillusioned earlier on. I knelt beside a professor in Roanoke, Virginia, and he showed me how to use his rosary. He said, "This is what I did when I was in solitary confinement." He said, "God is not an old man in the sky. God is love. If you believe in love, then we share the same God." "Love is good," I said, "but I don't believe. Just let me be heard. Just let me calm down. Just let this life be worth something." The sound of people talking, shoes scuffing, trains chugging are distant, are like a soundtrack, and I realized that there's a violin crescendoing beautifully. There's a busker down the platform playing a song that is sad and hopeful and complicated. It carries me to a temple, to an altar. I'm a goddess and I am a sacrifice. I say I have no religion and I shouldn't pray, but I pray all the same. I focus again on the dirty wall in front of me. Bring me back to reality. Drown out some of this stimulation. Mary, Mother of Joseph, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, I don't believe in you, but I was taught you, and you have not vacated the premises. Mother Earth, one God, the God is Mohammed, Jesus, Abraham, Kali, Ganesh, Oshun, full moon, something greater, first creator, Zeus, Odin, Hades, Einstein, perfection, wholeness, love, wolf, Anansi, Buddha, wishing well, Santa Claus, Adams, AI, paradise, individuality, self, queen, king, empress, pharaoh, Ra, life, death, pain, war, magic, power, winning, being, fucking, drugging, laughing, illusion. I once said the only thing that I believe in is change. Tell me a story or just tell me something. Let me be worth something. Let everything be worth something, or if not, I am grateful for this ugly wall and this old, cold brown bench and my dumb, fast-beating heart and the pain in my chest. I'm grateful for the air and for this sticky life, for these people and for this train that is speeding into the station. I'm grateful for this moment. I'm grateful I can feel so shitty and so grateful at the same time. My knee still hurts. I have to get on this train. I know you're in there. Tanya texted me saying that you made a lot of noise coming home. I know you're there. Yeah, what's up? You were supposed to leave the door unlocked for me. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm home now. So it's okay. You forgot, didn't you? That's why the door is not unlocked. Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot. But I'm home now, so it's seriously okay. What if I'd gotten home an hour ago, like I was supposed to? You wouldn't have been here and I wouldn't have been able to get into the house. Yeah, I'm sorry. Come down here and unlock the door. I hid a key under the black chair on the porch. Just go use it. How the hell am I supposed to know that if you don't tell me? Plus, I found my key. It wasn't stolen after all. I have it. So you would have been fine even if I wasn't home. Yeah, but you didn't know that. Look, this is ridiculous. Just come inside. No, come unlock the door for me. Just use your key to get in. No, you were responsible for me getting into the house and you forgot me, so now you have to come and unlock the door like you should have done in the first place. I'm not coming to unlock the door for you when you have a key. And come unlock the door for me. Come now, right now. And come back to the window. And. Dear M, I'm writing to tell you how horrible you are. I'll finish this letter before you come to the door. Then I'm going to put it in the mailbox and I'm not going to come back because I am moving out. That's right. I'm serious, you know? Jocelyn, just come inside. You didn't have to open the door, just unlock it. You always forget me, Em. Look, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. Just come inside. You can't always make things the way you want, just because you want it, Jocelyn. Sometimes I can. I'm sorry I forgot you, even though you had your key, and there's one on the porch, and I was home.
I'm still sorry. Don't look at me like I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. I refuse to have you look at me like I'm a crazy woman. You just don't understand because you don't experience all the pressures that specifically affect people who identify as women, from the media and from social ideals. So you don't understand when I'm reacting to them, and then you think I'm acting crazy. You let the world tell you that you're not supposed to feel as much, and you numb and repress and don't have all your emotions. You can be more rational and cool and masculine. Maybe you're the one who's crazy. Did you think this up in advance, Jocelyn? Just come inside. If Tanya was upset earlier, then I'm sure she's not happy right now. I was reading on the subway. I told you that Grace Gordon is amazing. She'll change your life. Anyway, what were you doing to make so much noise anyway? That Tanya was so upset. Let me put it this way. Does the world really need another book, another story written by a white person? I'm serious. It's a familiar story. We've seen it on TV. We've read about it a million times in North America. But if you take a look, I think you'd see that my story is actually not so conventional. Not interested. But did you look? Look, I'm sure it's great, but we're just trying not to take work by white authors this year. I heard that, but I couldn't believe it could be true. I mean, rejecting people's work because of their skin color in 2014? Okay, well, even if it is true, I mean, I'm white, but I'm not actually white. I'm kind of more of a pink color. Look, I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning to drive in from out of town. I'm what my friend Tanya calls a high achiever. I have big dreams, Jocelyn. I can't leave without you at least looking at my work. I understand, but I know you're stuck on this race issue, and I'm on side. I'm a lefty myself. I'm all for finding some balance of equality. I don't want to critique on that front. I'm not critiquing on that front. It's just, I don't see how this is in any way, shape, or form fair or better. I mean, I'm more than white. I'm not just my skin color. I mean, actually, I don't even like being white. Your skin's ugly pale, and you burn in the sun, and you get gray when you're old. I would change it if I could, but my great-grandparents were from Ireland. I mean, I was bound to be at least pretty white. I mean, I don't understand. Does my skin color make my work or experience less valid? I'm not dumb. I know that happens for some people, that they get discriminated against because of your race. You're not being racist, but you are saying no to me because of my skin color. I mean, how will that help? Making race-based decisions. Isn't that just giving in to the problem? Well, if I don't publish you, then I have the space to publish someone else. Right. Someone who might not otherwise get published. Right. Although this way, I don't get published. Look, if your book is good, then someone else will publish it. There's a lot of people looking to publish a white person's story. Forget white person's story though, or black person's story, or woman's story, or man's story. Can't we just focus on what's good work? That's real equality, when we can let go of the race and just focus on the work. Well, I mean, what's good? I'm here to publish Indigenous stories this year. Look, I'm on board with Indigenous stories, just not at the expense of your own. Well, I mean, how can I give up my own story? It's all I have. You're probably going to tell me that if I'm really on board with Indigenous issues, then I'll be happy to step back so that their stories can be told. I mean, I am happy to read them and listen to them and reflect on my life. I mean, I think that their voices should be heard, but no, not at the expense of my own. Not at the expense of my own. I mean, if I don't have my story, this is my identity, my income, my vocation. I mean, isn't every person's story valid? Is mine somehow rendered worthless by my race? No, right? The story I've written is about questioning meaning and coming into your personal power. I mean, those are universal themes. This is my life on the line. I have to fight for my story. Many of the Indigenous authors that we are publishing also told me that they had to fight for their stories. I'm sure they have. So if you're fighting and they're fighting, are you fighting each other? No, don't twist it. We're not. Well, I mean, I guess that's kind of what competition is. Fighting each other for spots. Actually, we're fighting you. We're fighting people like you. We're trying to be heard and recognized by people like you. I'm not fighting though. You're saying no to me. Yes, I am. You're saying no because of my skin color, my language, my heritage, things that aren't my fault. I know you're trying to do a good thing, but this is mean. I know this happens to people, Indigenous people, or to colored people, and that fact sucks. It sucks. But I've never understood why that means that I should accept it happening to me. You're hurting me. I know I'm hurting you, but I am not being mean. You think it's okay to hurt me then? Is it because I'm white? Are you one of those people who believes I have to suffer because of the sins of my ancestors? No, of course not. I don't want you to suffer because of your heritage. But the reality is that you are suffering right now, and you probably will suffer again for that reason. I'm not suffering because of my heritage. I'm suffering because you're excluding me, telling me my story is not worth it, solely based on my heritage. Look, sit back down. This company will publish about 100 works this year. 100. We've already had 3,000 people apply, and it's only February. I'm going to say no to a lot of people this year. I'm going to hurt a lot of people. Look, Indigenous stories are not sufficiently heard in this country, largely because of direct action from our government within my lifetime. And Indigenous peoples on this continent are telling their stories right now, for their descendants and for everybody else. And having these stories could contribute to changing dynamics like unfulfilled government commitments, discrimination, untaught histories. Did you know that a huge percentage of Indigenous people make up our prison population compared to how much they make up of the general population? That one hit me hard. Look, we've decided to say yes to Indigenous authors that want to publish. We want to be part of making those stories available. And that brings us to today when, without reading your story, I'm saying no to it. No matter what I choose, I'm going to hurt somebody. Lots of people. No matter what, my actions are going to cause people such as yourself pain. So I made my choice. I'm sorry if I'm hurting you, but I do not have regrets about my decision. I can't critique your reasoning. You have a worthwhile goal. But I need to live and breathe and make a living on this earth. And it's like everywhere I turn, you have to be Indigenous or Black or female or oppressed to be heard nowadays. All I want is to be heard, to tell my story, to inspire and connect and share. Am I no longer allowed that? I don't understand what to do. It's like people wish that I would die and be gone. No. You're making the mistake of believing that because your gender and race and class and other groups you belong to have not been put down, oppressed, or marginalized lately, you're exempt or removed from the harm that abuse and oppression cause. But you are not. No one with love or good intentions in their heart wants you to die or be gone. It's just that even though in this case, you're not directly oppressed as a white person, you're still screwed by oppression's existence, just like everybody else. You feel unvalued, unheard, injured, because that's part of what's there. You don't escape the ramifications of Indigenous oppression just because you are not Indigenous. So I'm sorry, but I cannot defend you from this, and I'm not going to waste my time trying. I want to be a good guy about this, but it just doesn't seem right. One is never afraid of the